This is Irontrader. It is hump day, which means it is crude day. Now, the API report came out last night, and crude had a nice draw of 3.7 million. Gasoline had a build of 1.3 million. Distillates had a build of 3 million. And Cushing had a small draw of 0.7 million. Now, remember, the EIA report will be out for crude at 10:30 this morning. Okay, we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, and crude oil, and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell any stock about ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Bitcoin daily and your weekly chart. Okay, now here what we got is we had this double top situation. Okay, so you always want to watch it double top. Now, yesterday I posted on candlesticks and on chart patterns. So if you get a chance, take a look at it. A lot of times you can get a refresh rate, and anything that'll give you an edge in trading is what you want to do, okay? So we had this double top situation. It sold right on off, but you notice it held that 100-day, okay? Then it rallied up here really nice. We got as high as 118,295. So what we're looking for, just look to the left of the chart here, is 118,350. Didn't quite make it there. Then last Monday, we had that sell-off, okay, started. Well, they were selling $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. So when some person sells that, remember, that triggers the stops, and then she wants to keep right on selling. Then he had about 22 a billion worth of options. So that was where it came right off. But I always say, if you watch my videos, walk and look for opportunities on a buying side. I think Bitcoin goes higher. I think you're going to be, 150 to 200 by the end of the year. So I just think Bitcoin's going to go higher. So just always look for buying opportunities. Now, here it was. We had this big red candle here. Came down. This was last Thursday, 108,555 level. Okay. So what we're watching is here, 108.20. We held that level, and we held that retest at 107,790 level. Okay, and then what we had Friday, we had this is an indecision candle, but look out here, how it just popped right on up here. This was a Monday action, and where did it go? Right through the 8-day, 20-day, and then it stopped dead in the 50-day. Now, yesterday we pulled back, but you notice that we held that 21-day and the 8-day, and it popped up, and we put that bottoming tail in, and look at today, boom, there she goes. Now, this is what we're looking for on the upside, okay? 117,530 was the high. What you're looking for is this. Look at that price channel, 118,295. That's going to be very, very critical. That's what you want to get over. So we have to see when it gets up there, what the reaction is. Does it break through, or does it do a little double top situation? Does it go sideways? What does it do? Okay, that's the key. So look at 118,295 level. Now, we crack above that bad boy, okay? Then this is going to be your target, going to be right up here, okay? This is what you're looking at there, is at 119. 810 area. They want to come up there at 120,755. Then we look at the old sticky up here at 122,955. Always look to the left of the chart here. This is going to be also very, very critical because we had that sideways action. So always watch that 121,255 before we get the sticky. And then right here is going to be key, 123,615, because this was the run up, and you notice that it got above it, but you couldn't close. That was the key, okay? So watch that 123,615. We tested it here at 123,755, and then there's your big target at 125,200 level. You crack that, it's 130, 135 is what your next direction is going to be here, okay? Now, looks like we have a nice double bottom situation going, and we have this nice rally up here. So downside, what you want to watch is yesterday's high, I should say, 115,765. But the key level is going to be right here. Is going to be that 50-day, 115,127. Okay, your 21-day at 113,976. And then we have the 8-day at 113,203 level. Okay, we can lose that. Then we have your 100-day. And then obviously we can just follow the candles down here. You got 111,355 level, 109. 270 level, and then your big retest down there at 108,555 level. Okay, so let's just see what happens if it gets to this area right here, that 118,295. Let's see what your reaction is. Does it go sideways? Does it crack through? Let's see what the reaction is going to be. All right. Now RSI, you're sitting at 56. That's plenty of room to run. Now here's your green. Okay, your green just crossed over your red, which shows that now there's going to be momentum to the upside, which obviously we have. So again, very, very, very good trading here in the Bitcoin. Now, look here on the old weekly. Let me bigger up a little bit here for you. Okay, look at that. Nicely. Held that 50-day, running right up. You could come all the way down to the 50-day, and it still would be a bullish chart. Now, we came all the way down here last week and we made a lower. We closed below that 21 day. She was looking pretty ugly. Okay. Now you can see this week we got above that 21 day and above the 8 day. And now we have this nice green candle. So downside, this is what we want to watch 114,333 by Friday. We want to make sure that we hold that and we want to hold this 21 day. Okay. Now, when you look at this 8 day, okay, yeah, it was coming on down, but it never crossed over that 21 day. Now we have a sideways action, which possibly could be take a right back up. If it crosses over, okay, you can see how strong that resistance is. Once it crosses over, this is the result then. It comes right on down, all right? So always watch that 8 day and that 21 day on a weekly chart. Makes it very, very nice here it gives you like a bigger picture kind of situation, okay? So, okay, 59, you're not overbought, oversold. The green is sideways on the action. So this is still looking very, very good. We just need by Friday to hold that 8 day and that 21 day. That's very, very key. But you can see the bullish chart here, bottom left, upper right. That's what you want. Higher lows, higher highs, looking very, very nice. Now, always got to watch this double top. See that 125, 200 level? And then that other candle that I always point out, 123.16. That's it right there. Always watch that double top situation that you have to close above that. Then we go higher. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. All right, here we have gold, silver. Now you can see here she's rallying it up there very, very nicely. I said we're looking for that 3900 level, possibly 3920. So far we came in within, 2.7 bucks. Okay. So, not too bad. A lot of times what happens is when you get that round number, like say 3,900, especially when you get a commodity or something like that, that's on a roll, what it does, it just wants to go up to that next level. So when like that's why I always put in there 3920 and it went just a little bit higher. Same way with this one here. Okay. I said 3820 and went 3824 level. Okay. So a lot of times it's just, break right above that. So when you get to levels like this, if you're dealing with a $5 or $10 stock, then that would be a lot different, okay, than versus a $3,922 kind of thing, okay. So anyway, we rallied right up here, very nice, a little consolidation, rallied up, consolidation. Rally ran up here, consolidation. Now we're rallying up here, but just got to be a little bit careful here because we're outside that price channel. And a lot of times we just look to the past. Okay, get 2 there, you have 3 there, wants to come in there. Okay, 2 there, wants to come in there. Now we're at 3. Now this has a lot to do with, the government shutdown and all that kind of stuff. Okay, that whole situation. So I always look at gold, silver, like a fear factor kind of situation. So people, they always gravitate to it and say, oh man, the government, eventually, this government thing is going to get solved like it always does. Okay, so, don't worry about it. But in the meantime, GLD is a trade. Okay, just that simple. Now, we're getting to a way overbought situation here. The green is above your red. But again, right now, gold just looks like it just wants to go higher. Okay, so next target, 39.50 level. And then bottom line, you got that 4,000 and then 4,020, which you could rally up to. Okay, always add that extra 20 on there because it always seems like it wants to just push a little bit higher than that flat ass number. Okay, so on the downside here, we're watching today's low. That's at 38.80 level. We'll come over top of that candle, 38.63 level. But realistically, we're watching that 38.22, the 8 day. As long as that price is above the 8 day, you have sideways to up action. Just that quick. We lose that 8 day, then we have a target here at the 21 day, at the 50 day, and at the 100 day. But right now, you're in a bullish trend. Ride the wave, baby. Okay, silver, same thing. Nice trade. Now you can see here how it popped right on up. Okay, so you look at that price channel, 47.41. Okay, now that's what our target is. Okay, so you can see where it popped up to 47.82 level, but so far you've got to close above that key level. Okay, that 47.41. That's it. That's the key, is you have to close above. But eventually, I think you're going to hit to that 50 level. I mean, that just looks like they want to push it there, just like they want to push us to the 4,000 level. That just, just what they want to do. Okay, so that's just where it's going to go. Now, again, watch this level right here, that 47.41. Okay, we lose that. You go to today's low, 46.81. We'll come down to the bottom of that candle at 46.27. And then we'll come to the bottom there, a little sticky here at 45.96. But then we're looking right here, 45.73. That's key. Now, again, this is the same thing. Okay, it gets outside the price channel. Then we have consolidation. Outside, consolidation. Outside, consolidation. And then we had all this outside. See how then we have that outside again? And then we have the consolidation again. Okay, so this chart is very, very easy pattern on the old gold and on the silver. But bottom line, watch the 8-day. As long as you're above that 8-day, is your sideways to up action. Just that simple. Now we're getting to an overbought territory, but that means it shows that it's very, very strong. The green is over your red, so this is looking very, very bullish. And I'm still looking for that 50 number there on the old silver. All right, let's take a look here at the old crude ski. All right, here we have crude oil all stretched out. Now, remember, OPEC meeting will be coming up here in about 3-4 days here, probably over the weekend. We'll have to see if they're going to be adding some more crude, okay? So I guess for October, they're adding 136,000 barrels. For September, they added 541,000. All the volunteer cuts, that's all off. They want to get that all right back again. And basically what they're looking for is market share, not really price today, okay? Always remember that, today. Okay, now, here we had another low, okay? 61.62. So our big key is going to be right there is that 61.45. Now, you can see how nice it's been holding it. Look at this. Held it. So disrespect right here, that's 61.45. Now, big thing is, if you lose that 61.45, well, then it's going to be down goes Frazier. That's why I want to show you a daily chart here today, okay? So if we lose this 61.45 level, then what we want to do is we want to come right to the left of the chart right here. This is going to be your next target. It's going to be 61.06, okay? Then we'll come to the bottom there. You're looking at 60.55 level, and then we're going to be looking right there at that 59.74 level, okay? Just bring that price channel right across. Makes life a lot easier. Okay, then your next big target, we bring this price channel across, and you can see how many times it held it right here. So 57.74, look at this. See how nice, how many times that has held that area? See? So that's going to be your next target, 57.74. And then we'll come down here, 57.03. We have 56.39, and then we have 55.30, and then we have your big retest down there at 55.12 level. Okay, so that's going to be your big key. Now, again, if you lose that, you know, we haven't been down in this area in a long, long time. Okay, so basically you'd have to take the chart out. This is a 3-year chart. You'd have to take that out about 5 to 7 years. And then what we're going to do is you lose that 55 level. Then we're going to be looking at 53. You're going to look at 50. Okay, then you look at 47. And then you can come all the way down to that 43 level. Okay, very, very easily. Okay, but again, we have to close below this here, 61.45, to get that started. Now, you can see here, sideways action. But if you look at this here, we still have a descending chart. See, high, lower high situation. And old Sticky here couldn't hold it, okay? So when you see that topping tail, that tells me I had to go shorty, okay? So right now, I'm holding my position and short on the SCO. And I just think that you eventually, if you crack this level, that level right there, that 61.45, it's going to go much, much lower. Okay, I just think you're gonna go down to that 59, 57, maybe even retest that 55 level here. Okay, so on the upside, well, we can have minor resistance level, but realistically, this is what you're looking at: 63.31, your 21-day. Right above it, we have 63.63. Okay, right above that, you have 64.19, and then we have the 100-day at, let me see if I can peel them in there, at 64.83. That's going to be all your big resistant levels. Now, obviously, if you get above that, we come to the top of that candle at 65.40 level. Then we have this right here is you got 65.72, 66.03, and then we have your big retest up there at 66.42, and then 66.75 is your 200 SMA. Okay, but right now the price is below all your simple moving average. However, that being said, crude oil, if there's any kind of a war, any kind of disruption, anything goes on, can set it very, very in motion to go much higher. Okay. Bottom line is this. Okay. So we have a left shoulder, we have a head, we have a right shoulder. Okay. So I said this is going to go to the 200-day. That's what it went. Now this is that war premium, Israel-Iran situation. Okay. You put in about $10 worth of, but once it gets settled, this is always what happens. But again, see, anything can run up at any time. That's why I like trading crude, because it's always in play. That's the beauty of it. Okay. Now, 43, that's not overbought or oversold. Sideways action on the green. The key is holding this level on a closing basis, 61.45. So far, we are holding it, so you have to respect it. Upside, all you do is just watch the simple moving average, your 21-day, your 8-day, okay, your 50 SMA here, your 100-day, and then we can venture right on up. Okay, so let's just see what that EI report says there today at 10:30, see if it does any kind of a market moving. All right, let's take a look here on natural gas. Okay, natural gas, I'm long the UNG. Okay, now I want to show you something. So yesterday I posted, and it's always on my playlist there too, about chart patterns and candlesticks. Okay, so a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm just going to gloss over that. I don't really need to do that." But I'm going to show you something how nice that worked. Okay, so when we had all these candlesticks. Okay, so we got as high as that 3.13. So all you have to do is look over to the left of the chart. What do you have? 3.13. Okay, then we went up here to this 3.16. What do you do? Look to the left of the chart. What do you see? 3.16. See that double top situation? See, that's what you always look for. Double top situation. It never made it to the top of that candle at that 319. Okay, so we double top. That tells me the next day we made a lower low. That tells you got to do a shorty. Okay. Now, I did not play the short. I'm only playing this for the long side in this time period. But usually I'll trade the KOLD. But what I did is I got down in this situation here. Okay. Simple reason is this. Look at the bottom of that candle, 277. I always say look for the gaps in the fills. Okay, so 277, you look to the left, what do you have? 277. It held it. It never got into that gap. If it would have got into the gap, then you'd have went to 274 level. Okay, but it did not do that. It held that 277 level very, very nicely. See how nice that held, that 277? Then it kind of rallied up here. And this had almost like a possible bear flag situation. But then we had the contract roll and it rolled up, but it never sold down and it never filled this gap here. Now we just have a nice good run up here. So right now, realistically, today we made this high of 3.38 level. Okay. So what we're really looking for is this 3.48 level. Well, your next level is going to be, obviously, is going to be right there is 3.40. Okay. That's going to be your next level, 3.40, and then 3.48. Now, if it gets to that 200-day, then we have to see what the reaction is going to be. Does it break through? Does it go sideways? Does it come down? If it breaks through, then we just break this price channel right across. You're looking at 3.62. You crack above that, you just bring it right across. What do we have? Okay, is 3.75. Then we come up to the top of this candle here, 3.84, and then we just mix it right on up here, 3.94. Okay, 4.0 flat. And then we'll come up top of here at 4.1, basically 4.15. Okay, so all you do, everything you need to know once you crack that 200-day is sitting right here as far as your levels. But I always want to point out these gaps because a lot of times it doesn't have to fill it, but if it comes down to it and holds it, that's always very, very good support. So always pay attention to that. Now, if it starts going into it, then you just look to the top of that candle and it'll fill it in, kind of a situation. The same way with here. Always look, they say, oh, it's going to go up here. It may. Okay, just like it's doing now. But right here, it didn't. It double topped. Okay, so there's no sense riding that all the way and down when you can buy it down here, like the UNG, and then now I'm riding the UNG long. Okay, so the UNG is what I trade for the net gas on the long side, KLD for the short, but right now I'm just trading on the long side. Okay, now 66, that's got plenty of room to run. The green is over your red. Now you got to look at these weather patterns. Now it looks like it's going to be a very cold, snowy winter, pretty much like we had last year. And natural gas isn't going to sit down here at $3. Okay, this is going to rally up high. So if you look at, like even in the past, look at there, we rallied all the way up here. What do we get? Okay, you got the 490. Okay, very, very nicely. Now I'm not saying that's where it's going to spike to because we take one level at a time here. Okay, so you just basically what we're watching right now is this 4.48. 3.48 level. That's what we're going to be watching. That's what we're target on the upside. Now, on the downside here, we want to make sure that we hold that 100-day, okay, 3.25, and then we can come down to the top of that candle, okay, and then we just follow it in reverse, 3.19 level, okay, then when you have 3.16, 3.13, and then we'll be looking right here for that 8-day, 308, okay, 304 is your 21-day, and then we have that 50-day. Now, that 8-day crossed over the 50-day, over 21-day. As that pushes up, that's going to become very, very nice support. So if it does sell down, as long as it holds that 8-day, well, we have sideways to up action. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here midday trading, and we'll take a look here at some stocks. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.